Amlodipine. It's one of the most commonly prescribed medications on the planet, a go-to drug for millions of seniors battling high blood pressure. Your doctor likely prescribed it with confidence, explaining that it works by relaxing your blood vessels, allowing blood to flow more easily, and bringing those dangerous numbers down. And for many, it does lower the number. It achieves the primary goal. And so you take it day after day, year after year, trusting that this little pill is your ally, your protector against heart attack and stroke. But what if I told you that this ally might have a dark side, a hidden side that no one, not your doctor, not the pharmacist, not the glossy drug advertisements, ever talks about? What if the very mechanism that makes amlodipine work for your blood pressure is simultaneously creating a cascade of silent systemic problems in other seemingly unrelated parts of your body? Problems that you are probably already experiencing, but that you're blaming on just getting older. This is the shocking truth that is finally emerging from the shadows. The real story of amlodipine is not just about the obvious side effects listed on the label, like swelling in the ankles or dizziness. It's about the hidden, subtle, and insidious effects that this drug can have on your skin, your gut, and even your mind. Effects that are directly caused by how the drug works, but are almost universally ignored. Why? Because they mimic the very symptoms of aging that we've been taught to expect. This is the great inversion. The drug you are taking to fight one aspect of aging, high blood pressure, may be accelerating other aspects of aging without you ever realizing it. So, over the course of this video, we are not going to rehash the obvious side effects. We are going to pull back the curtain, we are going to explain how amlodipine really works, and we are going to expose the three hidden battlegrounds, skin, gut, and mind, where this drug may be wreaking havoc. And, most importantly, we are going to connect the dots, linking these seemingly random symptoms back to the drug itself, so you can finally understand what might really be going on in your body. Now, how does amlodipine work? It's a calcium channel blocker. What does that mean? Think of your cells, especially your muscle cells, like the ones lining your arteries. They need calcium to contract. Calcium acts like the ignition key for muscle tension. Amlodipine works by partially blocking the calcium channels, the keyholes on these muscle cells. Less calcium gets in, so the muscle cannot contract as forcefully, it relaxes. Your arteries widen, and your blood pressure drops. Sounds simple, right? Sounds targeted, sounds perfect. But this is the critical ignored fact. Calcium is not just for muscles. Calcium is one of the most fundamental, universal signaling molecules in your entire body. Virtually every cell type, your skin cells, your gut cells, your nerve cells, they all use calcium signals to communicate, to function, to repair. So, when you take a drug that systemically, everywhere in your body, blocks calcium channels, you are not just relaxing your arteries, you are muffling the communication signals in every tissue you possess. That is the shocking truth. That is the source of the hidden side effects. So, let's start with the outside, the largest organ you have, the one you see every day. What is amlodipine silently doing to your skin? And why are you blaming it on the sun or the years? In our next block, I'm going to reveal the first hidden battleground and the signs you need to look for.
So, we've established the clear and present danger. Amlodipine, your blood pressure ally, works by blocking calcium channels, not just in your arteries, but everywhere in your body, muffling the essential communication signals that all your cells need to function. This is the source of the hidden side effects, the ones you blame on getting older. So, let's start with the outside, the largest organ you have, your skin. What is amlodipine silently doing here? This brings us to the first hidden battleground, the compromised skin barrier and impaired healing. Now, why is this change so hidden and ignored? It's ignored because skin problems are so common in seniors. Dryness, itching, thinning, easy bruising, slow healing. We are told these are normal. We are sold expensive creams and lotions to mask the symptoms. We never suspect the pill we are swallowing for our heart. But this is the great inversion. This is the shocking science. Calcium is not just for bones and muscles. Calcium signaling is the master regulator of your skin's entire life cycle. How? Let's look at two critical processes. Process number 1, building your brick wall, the skin barrier. Think of your outer skin layer, the epidermis, as a brick wall. The bricks are your skin cells, keratinocytes. The mortar is the lipids, the fats that seal the gaps. This wall is what keeps moisture in and keeps toxins out. Now, how are these bricks made and arranged properly? The entire process, from the birth of a new skin cell, to its maturation, to its flattening into a brick, to the release of the mortar, is controlled by precise, intricate calcium signals. Calcium gradients tell the cells when to divide, when to move up, when to differentiate, when to die and become part of the protective layer. It is a calcium-orchestrated symphony. So, what happens when you take amlodipine? You are muffling that symphony. You are disrupting the signals. The result? The brick wall is built poorly. The bricks are misshapen. The mortar is weak. Your skin barrier becomes compromised. What does that feel like? It feels like chronic dryness because moisture escapes, itchiness because irritants get in, thinning skin because the layers aren't structured properly, and increased sensitivity. Sound familiar? These are not normal aging, they are the direct result of interfered calcium signaling. Process number 2, the emergency response. Wound healing. What happens when you get a cut, a scrape, or even just a bruise, which is bleeding under the skin? The very first signal, the code red that starts the entire healing cascade, is a massive influx of calcium into the damaged cells. That calcium alarm bell tells the surrounding cells to migrate to the wound. It tells new cells to proliferate, divide. It tells blood vessels to form. It tells collagen to be laid down. It is the starting gun for all repair. So, what happens when you're taking amlodipine? That starting gun is muffled. The calcium influx is blunted. The code red signal is weak. The result? Wound healing slows down dramatically. Cuts take longer to close. Bruises seem to last forever. Your skin's emergency response team is sluggish because its primary communication signal, calcium, is being interfered with. That is the shocking truth. The drug you take for your heart is disabling the repair system in your skin, leaving you dry, itchy, thin, and slow to heal. That is the first hidden battleground. And I know this information about potential hidden side effects can add another layer of worry when you're already concerned about your blood pressure numbers. But understanding these connections is key to finding holistic solutions. And on that note, there's fascinating research on how specific natural ingredients from heart-healthy villages can support your cardiovascular system. I've placed a link to this unique approach in the first pinned comment for anyone seeking that peace of mind. So, we've just explored the external damage, the visible signs on your skin. But what about the internal lining? What about the engine room of your health? Your gut? What is amlodipine silently doing there? And why might it be the hidden source of your digestive problems? In our next block, I'm going to reveal this second hidden battleground, the one that starts in your stomach but affects your entire body.
We have just exposed the first hidden battleground, your skin, where amlodipine's calcium channel blocking action muffles the essential signals for building a healthy barrier and healing wounds, leading to chronic dryness, itching, thinning, and slow repair, all blamed on aging. But I promised you it was just the beginning because we've only talked about the outer lining. What about the inner lining, the engine room of your health, your gut? This brings us to the second hidden battleground, the disruption of digestive rhythm and integrity. Now,
Why is this change so hidden and ignored? It's ignored because digestive problems are epidemic in seniors. Constipation, bloating, acid reflux, indigestion, we are told these are normal. We are given laxatives, antacids, which worsen the root cause, or told to eat more fiber. We never suspect the pill we are swallowing for our heart. But this is the great inversion. This is the shocking science. Calcium signaling is the master conductor of your entire digestive orchestra. How? Let's look at two critical processes. Process number one, the wave, peristalsis. Think of your entire digestive tract, from your esophagus down to your colon, as one long muscular tube. How does food move through this tube? It doesn't just slide down. It is pushed along by coordinated rhythmic muscle contractions. This is called peristalsis. It is the wave that keeps things moving. And what triggers every single one of those muscle contractions? What is the ignition key that tells the muscle to squeeze? It is an influx of calcium. Yes, just like the muscles in your arteries, the smooth muscles lining your entire gut are utterly dependent on calcium channels to contract and propel food forward. So, what happens when you take amlodipine? You are not just relaxing your arteries, you are relaxing your entire digestive tract. You are slowing down the wave. You are weakening the contractions. The result? Digestive slowdown. What does that feel like? In your colon, it feels like chronic constipation, one of the known but often dismissed side effects of amlodipine. Things just aren't moving efficiently. In your stomach, it feels like slowed stomach emptying. Your food sits there longer, fermenting, creating gas and pressure. That pressure then forces stomach acid up into your esophagus, causing acid reflux or GERD. Yes, the drug you take for your heart by relaxing your stomach muscles might be the hidden cause of your acid problem. It's not too much acid, it's slow traffic. That is the shocking link. Process number two, maintaining the seal or gut barrier integrity. Think back to your skin barrier, that brick wall. Your gut lining is also a brick wall, even more critical. It's only one cell thick, and its job is to let nutrients in while keeping toxins, undigested food, and bacteria out. The mortar between these gut cell bricks is made of complex protein structures called tight junctions. These are the gatekeepers. And what controls the opening and closing of these gates? What ensures the mortar stays strong and sealed? You guessed it, precise calcium signals. Calcium is essential for the assembly, maintenance, and regulation of these tight junctions. So, what might happen when you take amlodipine? While the research here is still emerging, the concern is that by muffling calcium signaling systemically, you may also be weakening the mortar in your gut wall. You may be contributing to increased intestinal permeability or leaky gut. What does that mean? It means more toxins, more undigested food particles, more bacterial fragments can leak through your gut wall and into your bloodstream, triggering a massive systemic inflammatory response. This leaky gut inflammation is now thought to be a root cause of countless aging symptoms, from joint pain to autoimmune issues to, as we'll see in the next block, brain fog and cognitive decline. That is the potential, terrifying, hidden consequence. The drug that relaxes your arteries may be loosening the very barrier that protects your entire body from internal chaos. That is the second hidden battleground. So, we've explored the external damage, skin, and the internal lining, gut, both suffering from muffled calcium signals. But what about the command center? What about the most calcium-dependent, most energy-hungry organ in your entire body, your brain? What is amlodipine silently doing there? And why might it be the hidden source of your senior moments? In our final block, I'm going to reveal this third and perhaps most disturbing hidden battleground. We have now exposed two hidden battlegrounds where amlodipine's calcium channel blocking action may be causing silent systemic problems. First, your skin, where muffled calcium signals impair your barrier function and slow wound healing, leading to dryness, itching, and fragility. Second, your gut, where the relaxation effect slows down your digestive rhythm, causing constipation or reflux, and may even compromise your gut barrier integrity, leaky gut, fueling systemic inflammation, both blamed on aging. But I promised you a third, and perhaps most disturbing hidden battleground, the command center, your brain. This brings us to the third hidden battleground, the potential disruption of cognitive function. Now, why is this change so hidden and ignored? It's ignored because senior moments, brain fog, difficulty concentrating, and memory lapses are seen as the absolute definition of normal aging. We are told to expect it. We are sold supplements and brain games to fight it. We never suspect the pill we are swallowing for our heart. But this is the final great inversion. This is the shocking science. Calcium signaling is not just for muscles and bones. It is the absolute fundamental language of your brain cells, neurons. Every single thought you have, every memory you form, every signal your brain sends depends on the precise lightning-fast movement of calcium ions. How? Let's look at two critical processes. Process number 1, talking between neurons, neurotransmitter release. How do your brain cells talk to each other? They don't touch. There's a tiny gap, the synapse. One cell releases a chemical messenger, a neurotransmitter, like acetylcholine for memory or dopamine for focus. That messenger crosses the gap and tells the next cell what to do. Now, what triggers the release of that messenger? What is the go signal inside the first cell that tells the little packets, vesicles, full of neurotransmitters to dump their contents into the gap? It is a rush of calcium ions. Yes, calcium influx through calcium channels is the absolute, non-negotiable trigger for all neurotransmitter release. It is the voice of your brain cells. So, what might happen when you take amlodipine or any CCB that can cross the blood-brain barrier, and many can? You are potentially muffling that go signal. You are partially blocking the calcium channels that allow your neurons to talk effectively. The result? Slowed or impaired neurotransmission. What does that feel like? It feels like brain fog. Thoughts are slower, connections are missed. It feels like difficulty concentrating. The focus signal, dopamine or norepinephrine, might be weaker. It feels like memory lapses. The memory signal might be less reliable. Your brain's conversation is being muffled, potentially by the drug you take for your heart. Process number 2, learning and remembering, synaptic plasticity. How does your brain learn something new? How does it form a long-term memory? It does it by strengthening the connections, the synapses, between specific neurons. This is called synaptic plasticity. It's like paving a dirt road into a superhighway. And what is the key molecular signal that initiates this paving process? What tells the synapse this connection is important, strengthen it? It is, again, calcium. Calcium influx into the receiving neuron is the master switch that triggers the entire cascade of gene expression and protein building that physically remodels the synapse and locks in the memory. It is the chisel that carves memories into your brain. So, what might happen when you take amlodipine? You are potentially blunting that chisel. You are reducing the strength of the calcium signal that is essential for learning and memory consolidation. The result? Impaired synaptic plasticity. What does that feel like? It feels like difficulty learning new things. It feels like forgetting why you walked into a room. It feels like long-term memories fading faster than they should. That is the potential terrifying hidden consequence. The drug that relaxes your arteries may be muffling the very language your brain uses to think, learn, and remember. That is the third hidden battleground. So let's bring it all back. Let's look at the total picture. This is the circularity. This is the answer to the question we asked at the very beginning. That prescription bottle, it was a partial truth. Amlodipine does lower blood pressure by blocking calcium in arteries, but it is not a smart bomb. It is a systemic calcium muffler, and that muffling may be the hidden source of the very aging symptoms you are already experiencing. That is the shocking truth. When amlodipine muffles calcium in your skin, you get dryness, itching, and slow wound healing, Battleground 1. When it muffles calcium in your gut, you get constipation, reflux, and potentially leaky gut inflammation, Battleground 2. And when it muffles calcium in your brain, you may get brain fog, poor focus, and memory problems. That is the simple ignored truth. Pills have consequences. Understanding those potential consequences is not about fear. It's about empowerment. It's about having informed conversations with your doctor. It's about looking for root causes, not just masking symptoms. That is the secret. And if this message, if this new perspective on looking beyond the label has empowered you today, then please hit that subscribe button. Our entire mission is to uncover these simple ignored truths that give you back control. Because now that you understand the potential hidden side effects of masking the symptom, you need to understand the 13 silent signs that your body might already be sending you. Whispers that your blood pressure is still causing damage, even with the pills. The video, 13 Silent Signs Your Blood Pressure is Dangerously High, reveals exactly what those signs are. Click on the video on your screen right now to learn the language your body is speaking.